Is Paramount Plus shutting down? According to analysts cited by outlets like The Hollywood Reporter, this could very well be the case in the near future, but there's an important context to realize first. In this video, I'll break down everything that's going on at Paramount and what the future of their namesake streaming service could look like. So first, there's some important details to realize about the corporate conglomerate known as Paramount Global. And bear with me, it is all kind of a lot to wrap your head around. Now, up until 2022, this company was known as Viacom CBS. They changed their name to reflect consistent branding with Paramount Pictures, which they own, along with Paramount Network and their streaming service Paramount Plus. Paramount owns a wide range of media properties, including CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, VH1, BET, Comedy Central, and Pluto. Everything from Top Gun to Mean Girls to Star Trek to SpongeBob, not to mention the broadcast rights to the 2024 Super Bowl, is all handled by Paramount Global. But as with other media companies right now, things are a bit shaky as they try to figure out how to go from a business model that depended on people signing up for cable to a business model that centers around streaming. And as with other media companies, Paramount included, their investments in streaming haven't paid off. Customers are churning from one streaming service to the next, and that's cutting into their bottom line. So despite having over 60 million customers, Paramount Plus isn't profitable. It's losing money. Not to mention the cable customers that used to be the core audience for channels like Comedy Central or VH1 are dropping like flies. And this is all in addition to the lingering effects that the pandemic has had on the movie theater business. Although for Paramount there have been some bright spots here and there. Now, unless you're a major television and movie nerd like me, you might not realize that Paramount is actually owned in part by another company. And it's a company that you might not expect. That company is called National Amusements, and they're based in a suburb outside of Boston. Besides owning a stake in Paramount, the main thing that National Amusements does is operate movie theaters in the US, UK, and Latin America. Most of these are known under the brand Showcase Cinemas. Now, I've always thought this was a bit weird. If I were to picture these two companies like Russian nesting dolls, I would think Paramount would be the bigger company over National Amusements. But no, it's the other way around. But anyway, I didn't go to business school. I couldn't tell you all the ins and outs of this. What I do know is that National Amusements owns about a 10% equity stake in Paramount, as well as 77% of their voting shares. So basically, whatever National Amusements decides to do with Paramount goes. The current CEO of National Amusements is a woman named Shari Redstone. She inherited the business from her father a few years ago, and now her family's legacy is at stake. Now, with the uncertain nature of the television and movie industry right now, Shari is looking to find a buyer in that stake in Paramount and get money out of this investment while she still can. And she's met with several different CEOs about purchasing that stake in Paramount. She met with the CEO of the video game company Activision, interestingly enough. It's also been reported that she's met with representatives from Apple, Amazon, Netflix, as well as Skydance Media. And there's been speculation that Warner Bros. Discovery might get involved with this too. Whether the stake in Paramount gets sold or not depends on whether or not Shari can find a buyer. And that's still a big what if. And it does sound like there's still a possibility for Paramount to get sold outright versus just that stake in it. In this process, it's very possible that Paramount's assets could also get split between multiple companies. And if they don't find a buyer, some analysts have predicted that Paramount could go bankrupt. But even then, the assets owned by Paramount would end up in the hands of another company or private equity firm somehow. So how does this all affect Paramount Plus? Amidst all of these shakeups going on, whoever gets control of Paramount is going to be interested in getting the biggest return on their investment. And remember that Paramount Plus isn't making money. Depending on who ends up getting control over Paramount, there could potentially be more value for that company to add Paramount's assets to their own streaming service. If, for example, Amazon bought that stake in Paramount, or they bought Paramount outright, you could end up seeing Paramount's movies and shows end up as Prime Video exclusives. Or they could just decide to license Paramount's movies and shows to other companies' platforms. This is essentially what Sony has done with their movies and television productions, and it seems to have worked out for them versus making their own streaming service. But no matter what happens, the various properties that Paramount owns will still be here. We'll still have CBS as a broadcast network, we'll still have sequels to Top Gun, and we'll still have Nickelodeon cartoons like SpongeBob and Dora. This might not happen in 6 months, but a year or two from now, there's a good chance that to watch Paramount's movies and shows, you'll have to look beyond Paramount Plus. The long and short of it is, we really don't know for sure what's going to happen. This is all based on speculation. But with the changing hands at who controls Paramount Global, it's sounding like Paramount Plus's days as a streaming service could be numbered. But what do you think? What company would you trust the most to take over Paramount? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay up to date with all things streaming. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.